be a resurgence of popularity for sort of the archetypes of the universal monsters, the vampires and the werewolves. Is there something that you feel that most intrigues audiences about these types of characters, especially on the internet?
Yeah, I've been fascinated with how much people respond to vampires, and I mean, even when we started doing the show, and Jeremy and I started at season 1, you think like people really need vampires, but I think there is that endless fascination of just, I think the vampires of being so powerful and so timeless, and that you've lived this whole life and you could sort of be, I think the idea of being able to be whoever you want and change yourself over and over again over the course of centuries is very romantic to people. So I mean, I think there's, in general, especially when times are tough in the real world, it's fun to be able to escape into something and have that sort of, fantasy background. So I think that's partially what it is. I love your one, Jamie.
Do you find any similarities in the challenges in your life? Do you write them into the story?
I do have 3 monster-like children. I think we probably do end up writing, all the writers, a lot of our own things, and because the show is so human, and we always say it should be able to work without the effects, it should be able to work without any mythology. It should really just be about these people and the challenges they're facing, and it just happens to have this heightened element to it. So we do bring in a lot of our own relationship stuff, or some like darker family stories, and we try to keep things real and relatable as much as we can in a world where there is so much that is unreal.
What kind of challenges did you face in writing for this last season that you didn't face in previous
In writing for season 3, or for season 3?
Yeah.
I mean, season 3 was actually a lot easier to write than season 2. Season 2 was really steeped in the vampire politics, and it was parts of it were very sort of heavy and dark in that way. And season 3 and also season 4 were sort of a joy of just more personal stories and getting the roommates back together and having them deal with sort of real, more grounded problems. So it's actually been easier.
How liberating was it to actually finally give everyone what they wanted, and then now that you don't have to deal with the vampire politics or the werewolf politics, or the most part, how liberating is that as a writer? Where can you go now that those 2 main elements are kind of gone?
It's very liberating. I mean, I think we had to do those stories to sort of get them out of the way and explain, like, this is our world and these are our vampire politics and our werewolf politics, but it has been very liberating to have sort of established that and to move on from it and know that that's a good jumping off place, but that now we can sort of get back to the roommates and this experiment that they've been doing of trying to be human, and how are they going to accomplish that, and can they, and just trying to have normal lives, which of course they can't.
And then how do you balance the idea that we all want to see these people together, because that's when the show really clicks and works, but then again they have their own stories and lives. How do you kind of balance that?
Well, I think what's helped us, especially this season, is that we don't have, a lot of it has to do with like who is the big bad, and sometimes when there's one big bad, like say there's a big bad who's fighting Aiden, then that takes up a lot of Aiden's time, but we're trying to, we don't really have that per se this year. They have a lot of different kinds of challenges, and you'll think someone is bad, but then we get rid of them in the middle of the season, or this seems like it's going to be a challenge, but it's more of an emotional one, and so they're really thrown together a lot more because they don't have that, one person that they're all battling, and if they do, it sort of affects all of them. So if Aiden is having a conflict, it leads into Josh's world, and Donna, Sally's relationship with Donna affects everybody, so we really are throwing them together much more.
With the responsibilities of a showrunner, do you find yourself setting certain things aside for future seasons, or do you approach every season as a, look, here it is, and we're putting it all on leaving it all on the field?
We have, every year we start out with like blue skies, what do we want to see, and we have, and we save all that stuff that we have up on like a little cork board, and so there's been stuff that we always wanted to do, and like last season showing Aiden's wife dying and then Aiden massacring the town, that had been on the table since season 1. We wanted to see that, and there was never any room for it, because we'll have all these ideas, and then all of a sudden we're breaking episode 10, and we're like, we don't have any room for this, so there are always a lot of things that we want to do that get shuffled aside, and then we try to find a place for them in the future.
With each new season, you'll find that from the writing, new characters will naturally develop, but are there any actors that you really want to work with that you find yourself kind of writing into the season or the script?
That always happens, and usually it's the same. People always want Mark Pellegrino back, and we always want to write him in, and he's obviously on another show this year, The Smart People, and so he's not that available. So it's like if we know we have him for 2 episodes, we're like, what is the best way to use him? What's going to be the most satisfying? So that's always a challenge. And like someone like Amy, you don't want to just waste her, and so we have like very limited guest spots, and so it's really trying to make the most out of those people. This year we're bringing a lot of those beloved people back. It's sort of the greatest hits of everyone we've ever loved. We're going to be seeing a lot of. There's one episode that it's like everyone has ever been on Being Human practically. It seems like you say that, which is fun. It's fun to sort of bring all those people back, those fan favorites.
And then can we get your name and title?
Sorry? Anna Fricke, the executive producer of Being Human.
Okay.
So Aiden's character had kind of a surrogate son in the last season
Yes.
who he let go. Are we going to come back to that in the next season?
Yes, I don't think it's too spoilery to say if you don't kill someone and let them run off the it would be pretty sloppy if we really never saw him again. So it's safe to say that we'll see Kenny again. In some form.
In some
Or
form.
another.
How much will Aiden's wife be in the next season?
Well, she's not his wife. She just looks like his wife. I don't know who she is.
So she's definitely not his wife then?
She looks exactly like his wife.
So that's the non-answer answer. Gotcha. Okay.
She looks exactly like his wife. I'll tell you this, that we find out in episode 1. So we'll find. We're not going to string it along. But
Is it his daughter?
That person who gets out of the cab is someone we will see a lot in season 4.
Okay.
It's not his wife, but looks like his wife.
This is great granddaughter.
She looks exactly like his wife.
Interesting.
I'm not saying she's not.
When you first sort of came on board, obviously I know Jeremy comes from the supernatural world, and that's something, and you come from these relationship-driven shows. Were you at all in a supernatural handicap when you first started this? Did you have to study up on?
No, it's funny because when Jeremy, when we were dating and he went on to Supernatural the first time, now he's running it, but when he went on to Supernatural the first time, I was much more of a genre geek than he was. I've always loved ghost stories and horror movies and this whole world. So, and I always have watched these shows. So I was sort of up in it. I just hadn't read him before. So yeah, we kind of switched roles in that way, and then switched back again, and now everything's blurry.
Yeah.
Is there something from these genre shows and stuff like that you like that you find yourself drawing from when you write?
I think what I have loved about doing genre shows as opposed to a straight up relationship show is that it's a lot easier in a way to raise the stakes. When you just have 2 normal people having a fight, it's harder to have an act out than it is when you can have 2 monsters having a fight. And then it's bad. But it's definitely freeing. It's a really hostile.
It's freeing. That's what I sit down and you're going with. It's freeing. I didn't even need to hear what you just said. I literally sat down. I know exactly what you told you guys.
I'm so tired.
I know. No, it's okay.
I'm just so sick.
It's still no excuse for mediocre interviews. So really.
You will.
Oh, Oh, I'm gonna do amazing things at this table. Amazing things. Yeah, you should. Just sit here and just watch.
But here's the question: can you write a scene where he has to talk about politics?
Where he has to talk about politics?
Yes.
Oh. Do it. If it was
hadn't
written
thought
for
of
me, I
that.
could talk about it all day long. All day long.
We've already put him through a lot this season.
Yeah.
Look at him.
What's up with that?
Look at him. He looks crazy, right?
Yesterday I was clean shaven. This is not aging that fast.
Yeah. Every year someone gets a
I know, it's what it is.
Yeah.
Next year, Kristen.
Yeah.
Is the beard a disguise for guy actors at Comic Con? What's the deal with all the beards at
No, I
Comic
told
Con?
him to stop shaving.
Yep.
He had to stop shaving.
And then I had to shave, and I was freaked out that I wasn't be able to get. And then
But
this,
you're still
and then-
manly at that age.
I love that commercial, by the way. Have you seen that commercial? The Alec Baldwin, I think it's Capital One commercial. The beard growing contest. It's so funny. He's so funny.
We should get him on the show.
What's up with that?
I
By the
don't
way?
know why we haven't gotten him.
Have you grown a beard before?
I always have. Just have fingers. I always have a beard.
I have to
Yeah,
go.
go. Get out of here. I'm sorry, by the way.
I'm sorry too.
Hijacked your table.
I was done. They don't care about me.
And I'm sure it was free. I'm sure it was really freeing for all of us. Really freeing. No, it wouldn't. I always have beard. When I'm not working, I always have a beard. And Rachel hates it.